What's up, everyone? It's Cloud Chief, and in today's video I'm doing another beginner's guide, and this is going over all of the command lists. So if you are a veteran player, you're more than likely aware of all this stuff, but again, feel free to stick around because there might be something we go over that you might not have been aware of. There's always something new to learn. But this is really focused for new players who've never really played the game before, so that way they can, get a big grasp on this. I think people who've been playing for a long time are going to get not a lot, if any, value out of this just because they're already well aware of it. But let's not waste any more time and jump right into it. So this video I'm talking about text commands, and these are basically commands that you do when you type on the keyboard. It always starts with like a /. So if you're someone who's not really computer literate, you're gonna have to learn a teeny tiny bit of code, especially once we start jumping into macro building, which is going to be another video. But for this, we're just going to look at the command so you have an understanding of the full command list, and I'll go over what it does as best I can without drilling too deep into it. So let's actually start off with a command that literally tells us every single command there is, and that is going to be /?. So if I go ahead and type that, it literally populated my log with every single command that is available in the game, which starts with a /. So we will go up here and let's go ahead and so literally you can see the first command is the command we just did that pulls up all of this list. So then the second command there is /ver, and that's going to tell you the version of the game it currently is. So every time there's an update and a patch, the version number changes. So you can type /ver and it will tell you what version of the game it's actually on. So let's just move right on along. So then after that, we have the /say and /s, which are the exact same thing. If you type /say or you type just s and then space and then start typing, what it's going to do is it's going to come out as a say command. So anyone who's in close proximity to you, close to your character, will actually see what you say, and it'll show up as say chat. So again, say and s are the same thing, and that goes the same for shout and sh. Shout is going to be anyone who's in the zone can see what you say. It's kind of like you're yelling in that area. And then there's the yell command. So there's only yell, there's not a second command for that. And yell will basically go, it's like a shout, but it goes to every single town. So if you are in any place that's like a town where you're not going to have combat, you're typically going to see, what someone says in a yell. Then /tell and t are the same exact thing. That is how you can directly contact someone. So basically to do a tell, you would do /t or tell if you wanted to type it all out. Space, then you would type the person's name who you want to send a tell to, so whatever their character name is, and then space, and then you would just type out your message. And then they would get a personal message directly to them that no one else can see. And then party and P it's same, it's all chat. So this is just chat that goes to anyone who has joined your party and or alliance. It goes anywhere in there, everyone in your party or alliance can see it. Then we got /L or /link shell. Again, it does the same exact thing. This is for your link shell chat if you're in an actual link shell. And since we can equip 2 link shells, you can also do /L2 or /link shell 2, and that'll send a message to your second link shell that you have equipped. Again, Unity, it's another chat function. The Unity is for whatever Unity you joined, and anyone else who's in that Unity, if you're in the group, they can see the message. And again, you don't have to type all the way out /Unity, you can just do /U. So now we're getting into emotes. And this is actually, we're not going to completely get into emotes. So basically, if you type out /emotes and then you type the emote, it'll actually do I believe it does the emote without actually seeing it in the log. Like, let's actually try. So if we do dance, Oh no, okay, now I'm sorry, I was wrong. I remember what it does. So basically, you can type / emotes, and then you can type whatever you want, and it'll come out. So, what is it? Points at the shark in the distance. So basically, you can type / emote, and it'll put whatever text you put after that like it's an emote. However, you won't actually get any animations that actually typically go along with emotes. But this, you could, in conjunction with a macro, make, your own personal emote that says whatever you want, and then add, function to it. I know you can do emotes without them actually prompting. Like, I'm trying to remember. Let's see. What is it? I think it's motion. Yeah. So you can type out an emote and then type space and then type motion, and you won't actually get the log. So, because if I go back here into panic, you'll actually see how it says how Caulifla panics. Yet if I just do / panic motion, it's just going to do the panic motion, just do the animation, but not actually, pop up in your log. Whereas you could do / emote and type out whatever you want. So pretty cool how you can add functionality. So let's get back to our menu since it's quite extensive. So we were here at emote. EM's going to be the same thing. Chat mode, I honestly don't know what that is. Let's actually see if we can check it out. So I think it's chat mode. Oh, okay. So that's just telling me what I have it set to. Considering you can target yourself, or just pull up your menu where you can access your magic and stuff, and you can adjust where your default is. I personally always like party, that way I don't have to type / P. So if you go in here and you adjust it, since I don't have any link shells equipped, I can't do that. But I can basically, I always have it set to party, so I can literally just start typing, be like, hi, how are you? And it's automatically by default going to my party chat without me having to type / P. So I think so you could do, what is it, / chat mode, we want tell. I don't know if that did. Let's see. So I've never used this before. It didn't, now I'm seeing it. Because you can see at the top right of my chat log, it still says party, so. Let's see, CM / and that's not adjusting, so. Might help. So I'm sure there's a command I can type out to change it, but like I said, I always personally just, hit enter, go here, and then change my chat to what I want. But I'm sure you could do it via text command. So let's just double check. So if I go ahead and change this to tell, and now if we go to chat mode, yeah, it should say tell. I don't know why it's directly going to Rainy Days, someone who I was partying with in Ambuscade yesterday, but I haven't logged off since then, so let's get back to where we were at. So that pulls up chat modes. Oh, what is it? I know there's a nominate, so you could nominate someone to do something if you really wanted to. You would type / nominate in their name. Propose. So you could propose something that's happening. I've not really used these functions, but it is pretty cool that you can do them. I might make another video figuring out more about these and more functionality. So votes, I know you can do a vote function. Volunteer, you can volunteer. We'll have to see. I guess vol is the same as volunteer. Looks like that way. Echo means it'll send a message to you, so I could type / echo, say provokes up. I could make a macro that uses provoke and then say wait 30 seconds and then say echo provoke is ready, and I will be the only one who gets a message that happens with that if I have echo. Random, that's literally like when you roll lots for an item, how you're going to have a number from somewhere between 0 and 999. Same thing as random, it's just going to throw a number somewhere between 0 and 99, and it pops up on the screen for everyone to see. Oftentimes, people will random if they're trying to say, okay, the highest person gets to go first. Or if you have an item that somehow already dropped but is tradable, you might then say, okay, we're going to random for it, and whoever gets the highest random then, gets the item. So there's all kinds of different functions, but it, like I said, just rolls between 0 and 99. I know some people have set up casinos to do that. Translate. You can add things to the translate function. If you weren't aware, there are certain things in translate, like if I type hello and then type tab. So right now you can see how it has hello between the green and red. That's going to auto-translate hello to whatever hello would be for anyone. I think they're like, yeah. So looking for a party, again, I could have that's auto-translated. It's going to show up for a Japanese player as however it's written in their language that I'm looking for a party. So the auto-translate function is great. I know you can add things to translate, so it'll go in there, and that's what that /translate function is. I don't really use that. I don't really feel the need to do anything, but you can add stuff in there, and then it'll show up with the brackets around it. I'm not sure how well it will actually translate that if you're adding stuff to it as opposed to what's in there by default, but I know it's something that you are capable of doing. There's just so many functions, but they're good. So here we are. So we were translate. Macro, this is going to pull up your macro list, like so you can go in there and edit macros. Befriend, this is so you could add someone to your friends list. You just type /befriend and then type out their name. Attack, that means you're going to pull out your weapon and be ready to start doing auto attacks. Same thing for /A. Attack off, that means you're turning, you're putting your weapon away, so you're no longer attacking. Target means it's going to target the closest target in front of you. It's, like I said, literally going to just pull up, so now you have that thing targeted, which is good. TA, that's short for target. Target PC, which means it's only going to target a player character that's in front of you. PC means player character, so it would actually have to be another person's character who's playing. Then there's target NPC, so non-player character. So that's anything like an enemy or a pet or just an NPC in town. So basically, if you want to make sure you're not targeting player characters, you can use that. Was it target B NPC? So from my understanding, that is like a sub function. You could have something targeted and then it'll target something else. It's like a sub target that you can move down. I don't know what target op is. I'm guessing that means target an opponent, which means it's probably only going to target enemies. Assist this is a very useful, and same thing for /AS. So say we're doing a raid type thing. Dynamis is something that particularly comes to mind, and you want everyone on the same mob. So what you would do is you would designate a person, typically the tank, as the assist person. And what this does is, so if I was the tank, so we'll say Caulifla is the main assist. So that means everyone else in my party should have a macro or should type out /assist Caulifla. So as soon as I pull out a weapon, whatever targeted I have locked on and I'm ready to start auto-targeting, if you type /assist Caulifla at that point, you will now target the monster that I'm ready to start auto-attacking, which is very useful. It makes sure everyone's on the same page, everyone's on the same monster, no one's waking up sleeping mobs. Assist is a great function. /item, that literally just pulls up your item list. Item search, this literally you type out /item search and then space and then whatever the item name is as the name shows up in your inventory, and it will tell you anywhere the item is that's in your inventory. If you have it in your Mog locker and another thing in your Mog satchel, if you do, like I said, /item search space whatever the item is, it'll come up and tell you you have it in your Mog satchel and you have it in your Mog locker. It's absolutely fantastic. Something to be aware of though, anything that has a space in for the name, like if it's whatever item it is multiple words, you need to put quotations around whatever the item is, so that way it knows how to have a space. However, if it is a one-word thing with no spaces, you don't need the quotations. Alright, moving on. Equip is literally like you /equip. You would then do a space and then type whatever it is you're trying to. So if I'm trying to equip a body piece, you do /equip body, and then after body you're gonna have a space, and then you're gonna have whatever the item is. And same type of thing, if there's multiple words with a space in it, you're gonna need quotations around it. But this was great, and this was the way how you would use macros to equipment change before we had equipment sets. I still use this occasionally if I only want to change 1 or 2 items out. If I'm changing more than typically 2 items out at a given time, I'm going to use the equipment set and not use the single equip. However, like for Thief, if I just want to put on my TH gear and it's only 2 pieces, I'll typically have a macro that just has 2 equip lines to do that. Magic, this just pulls up your magic menu, but you could also type /magic space whatever the magic spell is, and then space, and then you could do something like target, or your opponent, whatever you're going to target, and then it'll actually just cast the spell on that target. Same thing for magic. Well, I will be going over more on how you would want to set this up if you're like building a macro to do it in my macro video that's coming out soon. Same thing for weapon skill, like weapon skill space whatever the weapon skill is, and then like target, so that way you're actually going to do the weapon skill on the target. Same thing for weapon skill, or WS, I mean, that's just short for weapon skill. Monster skill, I think this is more stuff for pets. It might also have to do with monstrosity. I don't really know, because I know you can do like, there's a /pet command that we'll get to, and my guess is this has to do with monstrosity and how you're having the monsters do skills, and you can set up macros with that. I'm assuming MS is going to be the same as monster skill. So then mount, this is so you can literally like call your mount. You can literally have mount space, say raptor, and then it'll just use your macro. You can hit it, and now you will summon your raptor, so you can start riding your mount. Same thing for MO, that's good for that. Ninjutsu, that's just like magic, except for that's used for any ninjutsu spells, so all the spells that ninja gets. Let's actually jump down. And same thing for nin, it's just short for that. And then song, same thing, except for that's bard songs. SO, same thing for songs. Job abilities, this is so you can use job abilities. I personally like JA better. I like typically the short commands, but so you could type out job ability or JA. Here's the pet command that I was talking about, so you can do pet space whatever the ability or skill that you want the pet to do. I'm not sure what beast pet is. I mean, I'm guessing that's the same thing, but I'm not sure if that works differently. Like, I'm not sure if you could use beast pet for, say, summoner. Recast, this is great. This literally will tell you what the recast is on a spell. So like if I use flash on a mob, I can have in the macro, recast flash, and then if I hit it 10 seconds later and I still have 10 seconds left on cooldown, it'll come up and say 10. So you can make a recast command that'll tell you, whatever length of time until you're able to recast the spell. Very useful. Return Faith, I believe this is so you can like desummon your trusts or faith. I believe faith and trust are interchangeable. I know REFA, I use that. That's like to release or return your trusts. I typically do REFA space all, and it dismisses all your trusts at once if you want to get rid of them. But you can, of course, do just the command to desummon one. Heal, that's literally so you can go down, so you start resting, and you'll start, getting HP and MP back after you've been healing for a certain amount of time. Sit, that just allows you to sit down. Sit chair, I think that's for if you actually have a chair. I've never actually gotten any of those chairs that you can get. I know you can get like thrones and different stuff, and you can even get chairs so multiple people can sit in it. I've never really gotten it or, wasted time for that, for cosmetics. For me personally, if that's what you're into, that's cool, but so I've never really used this function. Jump, simple as that. Your character will literally just jump. It doesn't have any actual functionality. There's nothing you can like actually jump over. Your character just does a jump animation, and it's just an animation. It doesn't do anything outside of animation, so don't expect that you need to know how to do that. Fish, that will literally the command so you can start fishing if you wanted to fish and didn't want to do it through your menu. Dig, this is for chocobo digging. You can just do /dig and your chocobo will start digging. Simple as that. Help, this will pull up the help menu. Same thing for /H. Dismount, this is how you would get off your chocobo or any mount that you have. I believe shoots works the same thing as range, because I know range or RA, and even throw. I believe RA does the same thing as all of these. Are there any others? No, okay, so that's check. So I'm pretty sure RA will do the same thing as if you throw, range, or shoot. I typically just like using /RA, especially for like Ranger and Corsair. It's easy just to hit your macro to just do a range attack. Check, that's literally so you can check someone, check the gear that they're wearing and everything. You would just type /check and type it out. I typically do it from the menu, like click on their name and then click to check them with my controller as opposed to typing it out. But again, it's something you can type out if you want. /C, same thing. I'm not sure what check name is. Might have to try and play around with that. I honestly don't know. I've never actually used check name. It looks like CN is going to be the same thing. Check param. This is extremely useful, and I'm glad that they added that. Check parameter, what that does is that will literally tell you like your accuracy level and your attack for your main hand, your offhand, and even your range attack, which is like your auxiliary. So if I go here and I go check param me, so right there, it tells me my item level, tells me my primary accuracy, which is currently, over 1200. And the attack being over 1300. My offhand is slightly less. You can see it's like 6-7 points of accuracy less. Substantially less attack. I don't have a range attack weapon equipped. That's why I have 0 range attack. Plus then you can see the evasion and defense. So this is a great way to see where you're at in terms of accuracy, defense, evasion, all those things. So definitely utilize check parameter. You do need to give a designation, which is why, like I said, I had to do the me like this. If I type me like this out, though, it's going to just say cauliflower. Yeah, see. Alright, so then log out, simple as, log out. Same thing as if you go to your menu and hit it. Same thing for shutdown, different things. Search, this is just how you'll do the search function via text command. Was it /C is the same thing. Again, text command just to do a search to try and find player characters. Friends list, this is so you can pull up your friends list. Same thing for F list. Blacklist, this is pull up your blacklist. Same thing for B list. If you're not aware what blacklist is, you can just type /B list space add and then type a person's name. If they're on your B list, you will not see any chat from them, whether it's a tell, say, shout, anything. You can't trade with them. You can join a party they are in, but you can't join their party or invite them to party. However, if you join someone else's party and they invite that person, you can be in a party with them, but again, you won't see anything that they say. But you can't join their party and they can't join yours if they're in your B list. Playtime, this literally just pulls up how long you've been playing. Play log? I don't know what that does. Let's find out. Is it the same thing as playtime? Yep, same exact thing. So, just tells you your login time. Interesting that you have basically 2 exact same commands that do the exact same thing. So then clock. Clock literally just pulls up the in-game clock and real-life clock. So if you don't have a watch or phone near you and you're wondering what time it is, you can just type /clock and it will tell you what time it is in-game and Make link shell or make link pearl. Again, that's if you're making a link shell or making a link pearl. That's one, you're only going to be able to make a link shell if you are actually the link shell holder. But anyone who has a sack will be able to make a pearl. I'm guessing this is... I'm guessing it's just short. It's just interesting. I'm guessing maybe shell and pearl's all the same. I'm not sure if it's necessarily designating, because I think, what is it? You need the shell holder to change someone to a sack. It's been so long since I've dealt with, you know, link shell functionality. But the same thing, how you can do this for the second one. Yeah, I'm guessing the shell and pearl are the exact same thing. So you can break link shell or break link pearl. Key item, this pulls up your key item list. Quest pulls up your quest menu. Map or mission, pull up your mission menu. Map pulls up your map menu. Region map, that pulls up the region map for the region you're in. Our map, that's going to be, you know, again, your region map. Besiege map, I'm guessing that's directly for besieged. Yeah, so these are just directly if you want to pull up the colonization map, campaign map. That's pretty cool. I didn't know it had all that, but you can pull them up directly. Support desk, so you could pull up if you need to put in a ticket for having some type of issue. I've never really had to put in a support ticket for anything, so I can't imagine you're really going to need to, but good to know it's there for whatever reason you need to put in a ticket. Help desk, yeah, pulls up the help desk menu. Party command, that is so you can do like essentially party functions, but you can do it through like text menu. Instead of going in here and like looking at your members and requests that you can do in the menu. I personally prefer the menu than doing it from text command, but it's good to know, and I know people do it through text command, and I do remember there was a while where I know like something with like forming alliances was like broken and you needed to do it through text command. But so yeah, so those are commands, and then same thing for alliance, to make the alliance. Join, that's so you, like if you get an invite, you can join the party, or decline, you decline the party invite so you don't actually join it. Auto move, this is good. This is so whatever pace your character is moving forward at, if you type auto move, they will keep moving forward at that same pace automatically without you holding forward. This is actually a command I wish they would put in so many games, because I use auto run or auto move all the time in 11, and it gets annoying when I start playing like another RPG and I like hit the same button on my controller to auto run, expecting my character's going to auto run in the new game, and it doesn't happen. Definitely utilize auto run. It's great when you know, oh, I want to go this way and it's going to be 30 seconds before I get there. I'll put it on auto run and now I can do something else for 30 seconds. It's absolutely fantastic. Follow, this is so you can follow another character. So if you needed to say AFK, but you were on this winding path where you were going, but you were there with a friend and they knew the way to go, you could literally type follow and then walk away, and then your character is just going to literally follow them. Follow can get you stuck in areas though sometimes. The person that you're following shouldn't have more movement speed than you, because they're going to just get further ahead and eventually you'll get stuck on some type of wall or some object. And then also sometimes you can just clip and get stuck anyway, even if you have the same movement speed. So the person that you're following should know that you're followed, so that way if you get stuck somewhere, they can kind of get you unstuck and keep you moving so you're not losing time. Lock on. Literally just locks on, so you can't really change target without taking the lock on off. Good to know. Invite, that's if you want to invite someone to your party. Same thing for IMV. Auto group, I think that's back to the party function, so you'll automatically take a party invite if you have your flag up. Recruit, same kind of, I think that's the recruit function in party. I've never really used recruit personally, but it's interesting to know that it's here. Again, just more party commands, party request command, I guess. So then anonymous and anon, this is so you can turn your character information invisible, so that way if someone does a search for you, they're not going to see what level you are or what job you're on. Display head, this is so you can like you can have it so you're not actually showing your headgear, so you can basically like see your face, your character's face without having headgear, but yet you can still get the stats of the headgear if you want it to, say, display headgear off. I remember when they added that, so I've never really used that. I like actually personally seeing my armor rather than really seeing my character's face. Hide faith or hide trusts. That is actually going to make it so other players' trusts you will not see. They won't display on your screen. This can be great depending on what you're doing, because then you're not going to get as much lag since your computer doesn't need to process animations that the other players' trusts are doing. Plus, it makes targeting much easier. But there are times where you want to see other players' trusts. So, obviously, it's a good function to have that you can turn on and off. I think this is just to get your trusts to emote. I don't ever really do that, but it's good to know that you can. Auto target, that's going to turn, you're going to type auto target on or off with a space, and that'll turn your auto targeting function on or off. So if you have multiple mobs hitting you, it'll automatically change the target to the next mob when the one mob dies if auto target's turned on, or you'll put your weapon away if it's off. It's good to know. Online, that'll change you to your status as online or away. It'll change your status to away or hide. I'm guessing that's the same as invisible. I'm not sure what names does. Let's see. Oh, I didn't realize you can actually hide names. Interesting. So you don't have to have people's names over your head. I did not know you could do that. See, again, you learn something new every day. This is why I was saying I think not just new players can get some value out of this. You can learn some new things that I wasn't even aware of. So, what was that? So that takes your names off. It's good to know. I'm sure it's not just my name. I'm sure it's everyone's display name. But, no, that could actually be really good depending on type of video I'm doing. Ignore pet, ignore faith, and ignore trust. So what this is going to do is you will still see other characters' pets, and you will still see other characters' trusts. However, you will not be able to target them, which can be actually really good. I know I have some friends who've played, and they get really annoyed with like other people's avatars and pets and stuff getting in the way, trying to target. So by turning this on, you can still target the player characters, but you won't target the actual pets and or trusts. So definitely good to know. Area effects. I think this is for, there's a command, not a command, but there's something in the menu that does something with area effects, and I think that that's what that does, is it messes with that control. We got a lot more still to do than I thought. This is a huge list. Party info, that's going to pull up your like party list so you can see the party. I don't know what bank is. Let's see. Okay, so it's just your Mog safe. So all those, I figured locker was going to pull up your locker. So bank is just pulling up your Mog safe. So it's going to pull up all your different, storage places. Where were we? Okay, bank. So then locker will pull up that. Storage will pull up your storage. Satchels. Yeah, so all these are all your, or from bank on. Yeah, so this is just going to pull up all your different inventory slots where you can put equipment and stuff. Mailbox, this will access your mailbox. This is only really going to be useful in your Mog house, I believe. Same thing for delivery box, send post. These are all functions here. So layout, remodel, garden. That's all going to deal with things in your Mog house. So like your layout of furniture and everything. And if you want to access your garden, this is how you would do it via text command. I have no clue what this is. For CC. I guess that's for furniture somehow? I will have to look and find out what it is, but fur CC. Interesting. I'm guessing it has to do with furniture, but let's see what it does. Furniture camera collision is currently on. Oh, okay, so that's your camera control. So basically, it'll either go through your furniture, or if the camera bumps into your furniture, it'll like bump and bounce off like if your camera bounces into a wall. Interesting that you have a command to turn that on and off. They just have everything in here. Layout controls, that's going to pull out so you can do the layout. Status party, this is a command so you can actually see the status effects that party members have when you target them. This is fantastic for any support or healer type role, and you should pretty much always have this on, I think. Focus target, that puts up things so that way, like an indicator that you want to, focus this target. Status timers, I think this is something else you should have on. So all your status effects like protect or even signet, you will have a timer that'll literally tell you how long until that effect wears off. I definitely think everyone should have that turned on. This ground target ST. And so these are the same command, I can tell. I'm just not sure what ground target means. Let me add all these. Huh. So it tells you what their movement speed increment is? Interesting. Oh, hi there, Mr. UFO. Interesting. So it actually... So it tells you how fast the target's speed is. That could actually be quite useful. Again, learning more every day. Just target, character effect. This is another menu. It's effects for your character. I think it's what effects are going to be on. Job master display. That is if you wanted to turn off the fact that you have the stars. I think I actually... Okay, no, I do have it on. So you can see I have stars, but if I do job master display off, you're gonna come and aggro me, and you can see like my stars are no longer there. Enabled, so now I have the stars back. We'll see if this UFO wants to come play as I'm trying to go through our menu list. So I have no clue what these do. While participating in a conflict. Alright, well then let's get in a conflict and find out what this does. When participating in conflict. I don't know if conflict is a specific event. So again, I might have to make a follow-up guide going over some of this stuff. So I don't know what that does. Scout or sprint. I think I might make a follow-up video for any of these commands that if I happen to get wrong, or that I just don't know. CCOM. This is basically your search comment. So people don't really use the search function anymore, but like you could put your flag up basically saying I wanted a party, and you can leave a comment so people can see exactly what type of party I want and what basically I can put in there whatever I want as a comment so people know what I bring to the table. Same thing for this. Okay, so that's going to turn my CCOM on. So saying CCOM's up. Yell SW. I'm not sure what that does. I'll have to figure out that. Mentor. This is so you can turn your mentor status on and off if you've gone through the steps to be a mentor. Block aid and block help. This is so someone who is not in your party can perform any functions on you. This was really big and used way back in the day with like King NMs because people would do things to kind of screw you up by getting in the hate queue. Like you could have a paladin cast cure on you who's not in your party and then immediately use invincible and then drag the mob away because now they have hate on the mob and there's nothing you can really do about it. Whereas if you put block 8 up, they could have never cured you in the first place, so therefore there was no way for them to get in the hate queue of the mob, and they can't do anything to try and grieve and drag the mob away. So it's not really needed nowadays, since now all of the fights are like battle instances, but it was useful back in the day. Good to know. So that's battle music. So you can you can turn battle music on or off. I think the big thing for this was a lot of mages who didn't engage weren't getting battle music, so they added that. I don't know what. So I guess it's to mute battle music. I don't know what Bell SW is. Again, I will have to figure that out. Mute SE, I don't know what that is either. All these different functions. So we'll go back. If I don't know what it is, it can't be anything that big. So then lock style. So basically what this will do is if you turn style lock on, when you change your equipment, you won't actually change what your character looks like in game. So whatever you style locked into, you're always going to look like that. The only exception is going to be for weapons. Like if I go from a dagger to a sword, it's going to change it because a dagger is not a sword. However, whatever sword I style lock, I can then change to a different sword, and it's still going to have the original sword that I style lock. Just something to be aware of. Last synth, that's useful. Basically, that's going to, perform literally the last synthesis you did. So you could do a synthesis that literally has 8 items, and instead of having to go through and click all 8 items, you could just literally type last synth, and you'll start doing that synthesis again, as long as you have the items to perform the synthesis. Equip set, this is how you can equip your equipment sets. I'll be going into much more detail about this when I get into macro building. Timestamp, this turns timestamps on, so anything that goes through your chat log that is actual chat, note, combat stuff won't actually happen like that, but any chat comes up, there will actually be a timestamp on it. Guide, I believe this has something to do with, like, it pulls up the guides. Here, let's see. Yeah, so it pulls up, like, the help desk guide so you can look at all the information, and primer is going to do the same thing. So we're getting close to the end. So point, bow. So basically starting from here at point, and I'll go all the way down. These are all animations or emotes. So by doing any one of these, your character is gonna do some animation. You'll get the blue check box next to it, unless you just type in whatever emote command and then just space motion. Then you won't get the blue, and they'll just do the animation. But all of these are commands you can do. I think up to, job emote. So I don't know what aim is. And that's interesting that these all, okay, one. What does aim do? I really don't know what aim does at all. Failed to execute command. Oh. Interesting. So I will have to find out. So I will have to have a follow-up video that goes over some of these commands after I figure it out. Anyone who is well aware of it, feel free to leave a comment on what some of these commands that I've glossed over does. So this was the same thing that was at the start. Was able to pull up the whole command list. So if you ever are like, what was that command? Again, / question mark tells you all the commands. Server message, this literally tells you what the server message is. So when you first log on, you're going to get a bunch of blue text that says like the campaign's going on, when there's going to be maintenance and stuff. If you type / serve mess, that will throw that up again, so you don't actually have to log off to see it. Same thing for SMess, that's just a shorter version for that. Link shell message, so your link shells, your sack holders or the shell holder can actually leave a message for, whenever you equip the link shell or first log on, they'll see. You can just type in, / ls mess or link shell mess or again, have the 2 in there if it's in the link shown in your second slot, and you'll see what the message is. Wait, that is literally, you don't actually ever type out wait. Wait is going to be used in your macros. Basically, it's like if you want to do one function and then wait X amount of time, say wait 5 seconds, so you would have whatever your initial command is, wait 5, and then have like a second command. It'll wait that 5 seconds, then do that second command in that. So wait is really used for macros, and we will dig into that when I get into my macro guide. And then local settings, I believe this is just... I don't know. I figured that was something to do with your settings in your menu. But, yeah. I don't know. I will have to figure that out. But that's it for the text commands. I know this was a lot. Another super long video that's should have been somewhat easier, but I thought it was good to go through and just cover all the different text commands that you can do. We didn't obviously go into the sub commands. This video would be substantially longer, and plus I'd have to figure out some of that. But these are all commands that you can type out to make something happen, whether it's involving in actually the gameplay or messing with your settings or just emotes or communicating with other people. It's important. You don't need to memorize the list, and obviously you see I've been playing for well over a decade, and there was definitely things on this list I didn't know. So you don't need to know everything, but it is good to get yourself familiar with, as many commands as possible, because the more you know, the more functionality you can do, the more capable you are, the easier it's just going to be to get around in the game. So, I know this was a lot, but hopefully this will help you out and kind of break some things down. If anyone has any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. And like I said, I'm going to have a follow-up video for this at some point soon that will go into more details about some of the commands that I didn't really know well, and maybe we'll dig into some of the sub-commands. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. And as always, may you have success in all you do.